Exactly 18 minutes after 6 p.m. Are playing out with the music of Selma Mutukudzi featuring Mac D and Tendai Manatsa, track entitled Hangasa. Trusting that I find you well on a Monday evening, a Monday evening, the 19th of January 2026. And time check, it's exactly 18 minutes after 6 p.m. Trusting you had a wonderful day, a fruitful Monday, a void of Monday blues. The name is Tinashe Peter Jamali, but you can call me Jamali. That's Jamali, the one and only. And I'm standing in for Wadzanai Africa this evening on the Deep Dive. And welcome to your premier current affairs show where we give you insight, extensive analysis, and in-depth interviews every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 1800 hours to 2100 hours. We go deeper into personal, pertinent, social, legal, and economic issues that affect you as Hararians and Zimbabweans at large. Hashtag insight, analysis, and depth. So you can get in touch with me on our WhatsApp platform. That's +263 719 100 404. And let me say a special welcome to you and you and you. And this evening we've already got a guest in the studio, and we want to take a look at a survey that was done in the year 2025. And this is a time use survey. In the studio, I have with me the Labor Market Statistics Manager. Labor Market Statistics Manager from Zimstat. And his name is Clapton Munongerwa. So we shall be going through the survey, and I'll be asking him a couple of questions just to find out what this is all about, what it takes into account, what it means, what it can be used for, just to break it down in layman's terms, because sometimes we see these things flying on social media and we have no one to help us interpret the information and understand what's going on. So keep it logged on to Capitalk 100.4 FM, Harare's Heartbeat. And we'll be back straight after this.
Feel the vibe of Harare. Experience the pace of the nation's capital. Live on Capitalk 100.4 FM. Harare's Heartbeat. Hashtag 9 and Fly.
Capitalk.
Now, have you ever wondered what most Zimbabweans do with their time, or just how much time males spend on certain activities compared to women? Is that something that ever crosses your mind? During the day or in the 24 hours that they have, how do they spend that time? So the 2025 Time Use Survey, with the abbreviation TUS report, produced by the Zimbabwe National Statistics Agency, that's Zimstat, is out now. And it measures how Zimbabweans allocate their daily time between paid jobs, unpaid domestic work or care work, and personal activities, etc., using a detailed 24-hour diary. It provides gender-sensitive data that shows how people aged 15 and above split their time. The survey also sampled some households, one random individual per household, to get representative results. These results help shape policies for better welfare, gender equality, and national development in line with global goals like SDGs and Vision 2030. The data gives policymakers an evidence base to improve welfare, design inclusive labor policies, and integrate unpaid work into national planning. So this evening, I am joined, as I said before, by the Labor Market Statistics Manager from Zimstat, Clapton Munongerwa. Mr. Munongerwa, good evening.
Good evening, and thank you for having me.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us on Capitalk 100.4 FM, Harare's Heartbeat. I know we've been having conversations over the phone, but now you decided to pay us a visit, which is very good. And without wasting much time, let's try and break this down in layman's terms, as simple as possible, so that even the average listener can get something out of this. So what is the time use survey, and why does Zimbabwe conduct it?
Thank you, Jamali. So the time use survey, we can say, is a survey that assesses how people spend their time in a typical day, that is in the 24 hours.
Okay.
Or you can want to express it into minutes to say 1,440 minutes per day.
All right.
So we are saying we are starting from 4 a.m. The previous day to 4 a.m. Of the interview day.
Okay.
Yeah, so it includes, like you rightly said, paid work, household chores, caring for others. That can be children, that can be the elderly, that can be the sick. There are people who care for the sick.
All right.
Or leisure and personal activities like sleeping, eating, bathing, and so forth.
All right.
So Zimbabwe conducts this survey to understand how time is shared between women and men, especially in unpaid domestic and care work, the household chores.
All right.
Yes. So the results help government formulate better policies on gender equality, employment, social protection, and work-life balance. So it also helps to track on the international level now the Sustainable Development Goals.
All right.
We can talk of the SDG 5.4.1, which talks about a measurement and tracking of time spent on unpaid care work, and also how it is disaggregated between women and men.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So how was it implemented, and how does this time use survey help us understand how people balance work, care, and personal life?
Indeed. So the Zimbabwe National Statistics Agency conducted this survey in 2025.
All right.
In line with the International Classification of Activities for Time Use Statistics. These are guidelines that are at global level, which guide the conducting of such surveys. We call it ICATAS 2016.
All right.
So it was conducted as part of the labor force survey, and this ensured that the results are nationally representative. Like you already said, one person aged 15 years and above was selected from each household. So the survey helps to understand work-life balance by showing how people divide their 24 hours between work, care responsibilities, rest, and free time activities, cultural activities, religious activities. So this allows us to clearly see differences between women and men, and between urban and rural setups.
Okay.
And the survey even goes further to disaggregate by province and other disaggregations by disability status, by household headship, by education status, and so forth. Yeah.
And what age groups? I know we had said that 15 and above, but what age groups and number of households and types of activities does the time use survey track when it comes to paid work, unpaid work, and leisure activities, as you said?
Yes. So the survey, like we said, covered people aged 15 years and above. So anyone who was 15 years and above is covered. And one would ask, why 15 when we can cover people who are younger than 15?
All right.
So we are saying that this coincides again with the age group at international level, where the labor force survey is conducted, where we also started 15 years and above.
Okay.
So this should, since it was done as part of the labor force survey, we had to coincide the ages, and this is in line with Convention 138 of the UN. So the number of households that were covered was 7,516 households.
All right.
So this one was a sample, but it was weighted using the weights derived from the population and housing census, which was done in 2022, to make it a nationally representative sample across provinces, across both rural and urban setups, and it tracks all daily activities. Anything that is done in a day, it is tracked, including paid work and also unpaid work, especially on the part of the unpaid work.
Right.
Yes.
So that can be tracked using this survey.
Yes.
What are we saying? How do Zimbabweans then typically divide their 24-hour day between work, home, and leisure?
Yes, thank you. So you find out that the Zimbabweans, and not only Zimbabweans, but people in general, divide their day into 4 categories. These first category is personal care.
Okay.
Here we're talking about such activities such as sleeping, eating, bathing, things that you are doing to yourself, the physiological needs of a person. Then they also conduct what is called committed work or unpaid care or domestic work.
All right.
So it's committed work. Then people also have contracted work. Here we're talking about paid work.
All right.
Or production of goods for own use. So own use production of goods.
All right.
Then lastly, people have got free time. Here now, there are activities which they do, like spending time on social media, religious activities, cultural activities, and so forth.
Right.
So, in terms of personal care, Zimbabweans, on average, spend 48% of their day on personal care. These activities like sleeping, eating, bathing, like I said, 48% is close to 50%.
Half of the day.
Half of the day. And you can guess that within that category, the largest component there is actually sleeping.
Okay.
Yes. As you realize that on average, Zimbabweans sleep around 10 hours a day.
Wow.
Then besides that, of course, besides the necessary activities or personal care, like I said, there is paid work or contracted work.
All right.
Where people spend about 13%
Of the day.
of their day. Sorry, where people spend 20% of their day. Then 13% is spent on unpaid domestic and care work. And then on leisure or free time activities, which I alluded to earlier, they spend 19%. But you realize that these statistics will differ now when we disaggregate between males and females.
Right.
Yeah. But in general, this is the overall picture. Yes.
48% of our day is sleeping.
48% on necessary activities.
Oh,
yes.
No, that's fine. And from this, I think we've managed to break down these percentages and what the 24-hour day looks like. But what are the most common daily activities that Zimbabwean adults engage in?
So, Zimbabwean adults, of course, after or besides the personal care which I referred to, which takes much of our time for both males and females, people generally spend time on work-related activities like employment or production of goods for own final use, where they spend an average of 20.4% of the day Yes, 20.4%.
Unemployment or goods producing goods for
own use. Production of goods for own use. We are talking about where you might not necessarily be market oriented or going to the market, but you might be doing subsistence, gardening, or raising food for your own consumption. Yes.
And which daily activities now? Because I see that we have a split that we can then, you are using the word disaggregate between male and female. Which daily activities do Zimbabwean women spend most of their time on, and which daily activities do Zimbabwean men spend their most of their time on?
Indeed, Jamali, there's a split there. The time spent by women and also time spent by men. So for women, most of the time, that is 24.4% of their day is actually spent on unpaid domestic and care work. Here, like I said, we are talking about cooking, cleaning, caring for children and other household members.
All right.
So they spend about 24.4% of their day.
Okay.
Then for men now, they spend much of their time, that is 17.5% of their day on income-related activities.
Right.
This is including employment work,
Okay.
and unused production of goods for own final consumption. Yes.
All right. And how many hours do Zimbabweans typically allocate to self-care? I know you mentioned bathing, sleeping, grooming, both male and female. Generally, how many hours do Zimbabweans spend typically to allocate to self-care?
Yes. So on average, men spend 11.1 hours a day on self-care activities.
All right.
While women spend slightly more. That is about 11.7 hours.
I thought it was going to be drastically more. When it comes to bathing, sleeping and grooming,
yes,
I thought women would take more. So there's just slightly.
So let me hasten to say something here, that this survey this report was only analyzing the active activities. So here we are putting a dichotomy between the active activities,
All right.
where you are actually involved in doing something actively,
All right.
then as opposed to passive activities. So you realize that if we put now passive activities,
All right.
for example, I'm just giving this as an example to say a mother might be doing other things like cooking, actively cooking,
All right.
but then again, she is minding the child. The child is close enough that if the child calls for the mother can hear the child. But we are saying, if we include those passive activities now,
All right.
the statistics will balloon.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
okay.
Yes.
So you're looking at, so the survey took into account the active, the activities that the individual is actually participating in at that
Yes.
very moment.
So we are, like, for example, we are saying, if you're caring for the sick, the time when you're actually bathing the sick, when you're actually feeding the sick. But of course, we know you can do other things in the vicinity, close to that person, even though you are not actively engaging with that person.
All right.
Yes. So though the survey collected data on the secondary activities or passive activities,
Okay.
this report that we are talking about today mainly looked at the active activities.
All right.
And passive activities report will come later.
Later on.
Yes, watch out for it. Yes. Yes.
Oh, wonderful. And with that split that we have, that people are engaging in economic activities, they're engaging in self-care activities, what portion of the day do Zimbabweans then devote to leisure and social activities?
Indeed. So men generally spend about 20% of their day on leisure and social activities.
All right.
While women spend about 18%. So, in other words, I'm saying men spend slightly more time than women. So the activities that you are talking about here include socializing, religious activities, cultural events, relaxing, spending time on social media, and so forth. Yeah.
Oh, it says men are using more of their day when it comes to that social and leisure activities more than women. I thought our sisters were the users of social media more than men. But thank you so much for that. And how does then the time spent on food preparation compare? Because you talked about different provinces, you talked about rural and urban setups. When we look at the time spent, let's say, on food preparation, how does that compare between Zimbabwean households?
Yeah, indeed. On average, Zimbabweans, those who participate in this activity, that is food preparing, spend about 2.2 hours per day on cooking. And also this includes washing dishes. So 2.2 hours. But you realize that about 2/3 of the population participate in this activity.
Okay.
In other words, you are saying in every 100 people, 66% are the one who do cooking and washing.
Right.
But then again, this percentage is mainly dominated by women. They make up the majority in this category of cooking and washing dishes. Yeah.
Is there a split between how much time men spend and women spend on preparation? Did the survey manage to look at that?
Yes. This is the point where I actually refer the audience to our report. I don't have the statistics offhand.
Okay.
But it's quite explanatory.
Sorry.
Yes.
And I hear you. And I noticed that we also spoke a lot about the time spent by both men and women in engaging in activities that are for their economic benefit when they are engaging in work, contracted work, let's say. What is the average time then that Zimbabweans spend on commuting to going to these different places of contracted work?
Thank you, Jamali. So here, I must hasten to say that when you talk about commuting, we are not only talking about those who board a bus or whichever mode of transport that they use. We are also talking about those who walk to work.
All right.
So whichever mode of transport or means that you use, on average, Zimbabweans spend 2 hours per day. So whether going and coming, it's 2 hours for work-related travel. Yes.
So what is left in the day? Because we are spending 2 hours cooking, we are spending 2 hours commuting to work, we are spending 48% of the day sleeping, and 20% of it working. Say, what is left in the day, and how much time is also then allocated to education and learning? Because I know when I was having a discussion with some youngsters, I was saying that our role is for us to pay your school fees. That is our job. But your job is to go to school and learn. So how much time is allocated to education and learning activities, since we are looking at the population or the age group from 15 years and above?
Okay, so earlier on you brought a very important point to say how much time is left. So let me say that especially to those who are going to access the report, there are 2 times that you are looking at. There is the population time. The population time always adds up to 24 hours. In other words, we are saying if the whole population was to do each activity at a given in a given day, how much of it would they use of the 24 hours? But then again, we also have the participation time. Now, participation time, we are saying of those few people who do a particular activity. How much are they doing on? How much are they spending on that particular activity on a given day? So you find that participation time is usually, or most of the times, higher than population time. Because here, even those who did not cook in the population time will be averaged. There will be 0.001 hour, 2 hours. But then again, those who only participated will have more time because we are saying this is the participation time. Then we also have what is called the participation rate. For the participation rate, we are saying out of 100 people, whether 100 males, 100 females, 100 Zimbabweans in general, how many of those 100 participated or did that particular activity? So coming to your question now, we are saying this is participation time. Of those who participate in education and learning, they spend 5.8 hours per day on learning activities, the participants. But now here, I must hasten to say that participation in learning, the learning activities that we are referring to here are formal recognized learning systems, not other learning systems. But this also includes time spent doing homework, doing training, but it should be in the formal system. Yes, that's the learning that you are referring to.
That can be recognized. If you're just joining us, welcome to it. We are in the deep dive, and here with me in the studio, I am with the labor market statistics manager from Zimstat, Mr. Clapton Munongerwa, and he's giving us a simple but very brief breakdown on the time use survey that was conducted in 2025 and is now out. And it is there to show us what most Zimbabweans are doing with their time and just how much time males and females spend on certain activities compared to women. The 2025 time use survey report produced by the Zimbabwe National Statistics Agency, Zimstat, is out, and it measures how Zimbabweans allocate their daily time between paid jobs, unpaid domestic and care work, and personal activities. So you could also send us a message on our WhatsApp platform. That's +263 719 100 404, and we'll be right back straight after this.
Capitalk 100.4 FM. Harare's heartbeat.
Varameso Zunzunya Unditarire Vuranzeve Tirere Samudiva Izwiro Shevezera Usashime Misoti Pokoda Usachime Nyararatizu Anoda
pata panozipa pe moyo wangu moyo ngauchireka kumbea usahlandiri mutu mwadinamboche moyo ngauchireka kuchira usachikandiri mukunda sina mbonje pfungwa zedu ziri pano moyo yedu yavaimwe vokwedu votopemera igorogodezwa amwe mashoko adinaye kanatamba amwe mashoko orodo adi uremeri uko nanoda uripejgo wakatariswa mboni nanoda uripejgo wakatariswa mboni.
That there is the music of Feli Nandi and Mwenje Matole, track titled Mboni. Wakapedzera kutariswa mboni rini. And if you're just joining us on the deep dive, I am in the studio with Mr. Clapton Munongerwa. And he's the labor market statistics manager, helping us to dissect and disintegrate the time use survey that was done in the year 2025. And let's just try to make sure that we cover as much as possible for the sake of time here. So, Mr. Clapton, welcome back, and thank you so much for giving us these statistics and trying to break down what it means and how this survey was conducted. But let me just try to get into a few more questions here. Maybe try and find out what is the typical balance between work time and personal lifetime for Zimbabweans.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, regarding the balance, how Zimbabweans balance between work time and personal time, we see that on average, for every hour Zimbabweans spend on leisure or on free time, they spend a corresponding 1 hour and 45 minutes on work-related activities.
All right.
But then again, women have less leisure time than men, meaning that they experience greater time pressure than men. Yeah.
And how you say that this survey had gone around, also taking into account the different provinces, urban and rural life. So how does time use in urban Zimbabwe differ from rural Zimbabwe?
Indeed, there's a very slight difference between the two. We are saying that in urban areas, generally people spend slightly more on activities like unpaid work and leisure. For example, in urban areas, those who participate in unpaid domestic and care work take 4.2 hours a day, compared to 3.8 hours for those in rural areas per day. So people in rural areas participate less in unpaid and care work, in unpaid care work and domestic work than those in urban areas. Yeah.
So we're saying that people in urban areas are using more time or spend more time doing unpaid care work
than rural areas.
Than in the people in the rural areas.
Yes.
And which activities show the biggest gap, the biggest gender gap in time use? Because I see that when it comes to socializing and leisure, we're saying that men use more time than women in that area. But which activities show the biggest gender gap in time use amongst Zimbabweans?
So when we are looking at the gender gap in general, we are talking about the discrepancy between how males spend their time compared to females.
All right.
So in this survey, we observed that the biggest gender gap is in unpaid domestic and care work. They also chose the caregiving, where women, especially those aged 25 to 34,
All right.
spend more than 3 times as much time as men on unpaid domestic and care work.
Does this look at the same age group, same age category? Are we also looking at men who are between 25 and 34?
Yes, in the same category.
In that same.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the biggest gap, the gender gap, is in
Unpaid care and domestic work.
all right.
Yes.
So what are then some of the main time use patterns in Zimbabwean households with children?
Thank you. So you find that this survey did not really look at whether one is children
or not.
or not.
All right.
But it looked at what we call household headship.
Okay.
There are people who are head of households.
Right.
Those people who administer what happens in a home.
All right.
Yes. So we are saying non-household heads who are females spent the least proportion of their day on unpaid domestic and care work. That is 14%. Whilst those who were household heads, they spent women who were household heads, they spent the least proportion on contracted work. That is 15.7%. On the other hand, when we look at males, we see that male household heads had a higher proportion of free time, the leisure time activities, than females who were household heads.
Right.
We are talking about 22.1% for males and 18% for females. Yeah.
I see. When we started the show, you did mention that over 7,000 households were, I can say, interviewed or were used as the sample for this survey. A lot of work really went into conducting this survey, and then that would lead us to want to know what is the expected impact of this survey.
Yes, indeed. The end goal of this survey, we are saying that we are envisioning the survey helping government, the policymakers, to design policies that reduce the burden of unpaid work on women, as has been clearly articulated in these findings.
Okay.
Promote gender equality and improve quality of life for everyone. So it also allows Zimbabwe to contribute evidence to global discussions
All right.
on unpaid care work under the Sustainable Development Goals, as I alluded to earlier.
All right.
But besides these stakeholders, we also have interested users of these statistics, these civil society organizations.
All right.
We've got the private sector. If I know that many people spend a lot of time on social media, I would direct my advertising towards that end. Then, of course, there are other users like the academia. So it's quite a useful and important survey for many stakeholders. Yes.
Wonderful. And as you're saying, so many stakeholders might want to know and have this information. How can they get this survey? How can they get any other related information that is produced by the Zimbabwe National Statistics Agency?
Yes, thank you very much. So the fastest and most convenient way to get statistics not only on time use survey, but on many other topical issues.
All right.
Is on the website,
All right.
Zimstat website. That is www.zimstat.co.zw.
All right.
Again, I say it's Zimstat without an S. Zimstat. So it's www.zimstat.co.zw.
All right.
But then again, they can also contact, write an email to pr@zimstat.co.zw or dg@zimstat.co.zw. Yes.
They can get all the information that
All
they
the
need
information and more.
and more. Mr. Clapton Munongerwa, thank you so much for joining us on Capitalk 100.4 FM Harare Heartbeat on the deep dive, helping us to unpack and also understand what goes into and why things like the time use survey can be conducted by the Zimbabwe National Statistics Agency. It has been a pleasure having you, and we hope to see you again back here with more information that is helpful to various and different stakeholders.
Thank you, Jamali.
You're most welcome.
9 years of the hottest beats. 9 years of the freshest voices. 9 years of top-notch radio. Capitalk 100.4 FM. Harare's heartbeat. Hashtag 9 and fly.
Capitalk 100.4 FM
Capitalk 100.4 FM. Harare's heartbeat.
has been giving you 9 years of fire.
Feel the fire. Raise it higher.
We are soaring higher. All day, all night. It's on Capitalk 100.4 FM. Harare's heartbeat. Hashtag 9 and fly.